Hi everyone, welcome. This is Mrs. Frost and this is our weekly video for the week of November 9th through November 13th. In this video I will share our weekly plan, some tips and strategies to get the most out of our weekly plan, our class locker, and a Google Chrome app called Tab Resize that you have the option, total option, but it's a great idea. And you might want to consider using it in when you're working in our class. Alright, here I am on our class homepage. Please note that the Module 1, all assignments closed on Friday at 10 p.m. I'm going to go to our class plan now. And I want you to take note of what we have going on in our week. We have a module review today. We have our portfolio for Module 2 item that we pick and evaluate due tomorrow. We have our Module 2 exam, Part A only. We're not completing Part B on Wednesday. And we start a new unit called Narratives where we get to read a variety of historical fiction on famous scientists on Thursday and Friday, including Thursday a discussion post and Friday a lesson check. Alright, I've gone ahead and opened up Module Review, Lesson 2.17. I wanted to point out that there are 9 slides that are strategically designed to help you review so that you can remember the information from Module 2 and the vocabulary, the words, the grammar we learned, etc. So please be thoughtful and go through thoughtfully, which means with focus, so that you can get the most out of these strategically asked review questions. I know I've already asked you to go through with focus, but I want to point out again that please go through each of these questions thoughtfully and really challenge yourself to see if you're accurate. You get this bonus of being able to check your answer, but thoughtfully go through these review questions. They're hand-picked and strategically picked to help you prepare for your module exam, including these on 8 and 9. Slide 8 and 9 of Lesson 2.17 Module Review. Now we're on to Tuesday's work. This is the lesson from Tuesday. It is your portfolio module item where you're picking an item from Module 2 and putting it in your portfolio. You are given 2 items to go with this. First, you're given a rubric that states clearly and explicitly exactly how to be exemplary, proficient, emerging, or not evident. These are the items that you should review on your own work before you turn it in. And these are the items that I will use to review your work also. Look at this. I want to be really thoughtful about this rubric. And let me get my pen. Thoroughly, clearly, and accurately explains why, how. These words are what you're going to need to show. By that I mean you're going to need to thoroughly, clearly, accurately, and with explanation show the connection between your assignment that you pick and your goal that the assignment's helping you meet. All right? And again, if you want to have exemplary, I graded these pretty easygoing the first time around. I'm going to be looking for more specifics and more details where you actually are identifying your strengths, weaknesses, potential improvements, and you're referring back to the item that you picked as well as referring back to your goals. The document itself looks like this that you're going to complete. And again, I'm going to be looking for thoughtful, detailed explanations that refer back to the goal. I'm going to be looking for, and the rubric is, and you should also be looking for, that you shared examples that support why this assignment was picked and what you did well on it, as well as you're specific and detailed about what you can do to improve next. This assignment is worth 15 points, which is the same as 1.5 lesson checks or 1.5 discussion posts, so please take it seriously. Alright, so we're back to our plan for the week. Now we've covered Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday is your module exam. For the module exam, I want to make sure that I point out that you should allow yourself at least an hour. Alright, so look at the clock. Don't start this exam if you don't have at least an hour where you're able to focus with uninterrupted. It may not take you an hour, but you want to leave yourself plenty of time. Remember that you're only responsible for Part A and not Part B. Remember that you only get one chance at taking this module exam, so you want to make sure that you've done the review and completed all the work so that you're ready. And then also I want to make sure that you set yourself up for success by having a nice quiet room, enough time, and all the tools you need available to work and focus as you're taking it. Next, we're going to look at 3.01, the narrative, and I'm going to show you how to use the tab resize on this discussion post. And then we're going to look at 3.02, ingenuity, from this new great unit we're going to read. Alright, since we are starting a new module, you are given the new module items that you get in each module, including the module checklist and the big ideas and objectives. If you have if you have paper, printer, and everything comes together for you, please print these for your binder. They'll help keep track of what you're doing in each lesson and why we're doing it. And I know I like knowing why we're doing items and learning things. So then these two, I would like to request that you please print for your binder. The graphic organizer that you're going to use for all vocabulary words in the unit, as well as the vocabulary word list that you'll be asked to use when you're posting in discussions or completing assignments. If you do not have a printer or ink, or all the cards don't come together with printing it, open up your notebook and draw this graphic organizer and handwrite out the vocabulary list. You're going to need to be responsible for these words. Alright, so now at this point you've done lots of printing or writing in your notebook about items that you'll need for Module 3. Now you're ready to start reading a story called Michael Faraday. Before you do Michael Faraday's World, before you do that though, you're going to want to open up this graphic organizer and print it, or you're going to want to open it so that you can type in it, or you're going to want to open it so that you can draw it in your notebook so you can fill it out. But regardless, some way, whichever of those work for you, to fill it out. So then you go ahead and you open up the story itself, and you'll see it's a story called Michael Faraday's World. It's historical fiction about the scientist Michael Faraday. And after you've read that, then you're ready to come back and complete these questions on slide 12. And 5, check your reading questions just to see how you did and if you had good focus during the story. Alright, so I want to show you another item on 16. Let me get there. Alright, so you might want to open up your book and review. I want you to, okay, so what I'm getting at is, right here they have passages from the story on Michael Faraday. You might want your book open so that you can scroll down and go look at what they're asking you to look at. One of the big ideas of Module 3 is note-taking, and it is, in this lesson, paraphrasing and summarizing what they are and what their differences are. So heads up, I'm going to make this into a document and put it in the notes, but you should, in our class locker I mean, but you should be able to take notes on this as you go, and you should be able to walk away from this knowing what the difference between paraphrasing and summarizing are, and what each of them are and aren't. So you're going to need to take notes on each of these areas. Okay, I hope this works, but I'm going to attempt to show you how to use the Tab Resize Google Chrome app to effectively complete a discussion post. Alright, so what you're going to do is you have your discussion post open, which has your example, right? It has the details on what you need to write, and has access to the rubric. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to here's one tool you might not know. I'm going to open up the next assignment, but I want it to open up on a different tab, not change this screen. So I'm going to hold down Control when I click on this arrow to open the discussion. Okay, that was the first thing I wanted to show you. So now what you can see is that I have 2 tabs open at the same time. I have the discussion post, and I have the discussion post directions. Now what I can do with Tab Resize is I can see these two things side by side. So I'm going to open up tab resize, and I'm going to go side by side. And now I can come in here and start a new thread. I'm going to turn off my recording. Actually, maybe I'll leave it on. Okay, so I can start a new thread while looking at what I need to include in my discussion post. So how cool is that? You guys are getting, if you look down at the camera screen, you'll see that on my screen I see the full size of each of these items. So then I just go in and I can start my new thread. And if I want to view, did I include everything I needed to, I can look over at the discussion post description. So the point of this demonstration in the video with my camera, not the screen, is that I wanted to show you this cool tool called Tab Resize that you can use whenever you want to look at two different things in our class. Alright, so I hope that made sense about Tab Resize. So you open up Google Chrome, you go to the App Store, you search for Tab Resize. That's just one of the tools that does that. There's many different ones out there. Then you load it into your Google Chrome, it adds onto your toolbar, and then from there you can open up anytime you want two things open at once, you're able to do that. So check it out, and I think it'll be helpful with this class when you're completing any of your assignments. You could also have it, it would also be helpful if you wanted to keep your story open from your anthology and then type into your document your assignment so that you can more easily write quotes and whatnot too. So now I'm going to go to 3.02. On here I just wanted to show you that you have, this will be divided into several sessions also. It's 18 slides, but during the middle you're going to be reading an assignment. There is a graphic organizer for Nikola Tesla. I want to go to 11 and show you that real quick. Make sure you're able to complete this assignment here. These are good things that prepare you for the lesson checks and for making sure that you're a good reader understanding the story. I'm giving you this tool in our locker today. This one here, it's a bookmark. This lesson focuses on questions you ask yourself when you read. Okay? Here it's a bookmark, but you can also just print it and use it as a document. But it shares with you strategies and questions you can ask yourself as you're reading a story. Alright, we're about to wrap up this video. I wanted to point out, the last thing I wanted to point out today for this week's work is that you should be, again, you're hearing a theme here, you should be super thoughtful, you should be mindful, you should set yourself up for success by actually answering these questions either on paper or detailed in your head before you click on the answer. And then second, not going on and taking the lesson check if you're not able to answer these questions. These are setting you up for what you need to know for the lesson check you're about to take. Our week Friday ends with a lesson check on 3.02. Alright, if you have any questions, please let me know. And if not, I'll see you in class tomorrow. Oh, and the password that you should give in the quiz is going to be pomegranate.